Yo, so I just shaved my whole facial hair from here to here to here, bro, and I look like the younger version of Adolf Hitler. Oh man, I regret it now. So today, right now, it's 6 o'clock, and I can't sleep, man. I know I got an appointment tomorrow, but I gotta, I gotta figure out, man, what I can do. Yeah, because this is what I do. I just sit here, and I got all these thoughts going through my head, like, how will I carry on? How will I be able to manage things? How will I be able to save money? How will I be able to feel free, even though I'm not as free as I used to be? How will I progress things? How will I think things through? How will I deal with the silent void, and avoid the negative things that come into play to play a factor in my life. I don't know, maybe it's impossible, but it can be done. Yeah, I took a shower, came out here, and I was like, man, what the heck is this? Somebody reset my whole monitoring thing. I don't know if anybody understand what that means, but they set my whole monitoring thing where they switched up my receiving side of it. So now like my YouTube's all on whack. The videos that I'm looking for are all on whack. You know, right now I don't even have a TV. TV's broken. I grabbed this one out of the trash and it doesn't work. Kind of like my life right now. You know, I'm trying to pull myself away from people that are, beneath me. And beneath me I mean like people that are above me, or they think they're above me, but in all reality, to me they're beneath me, because God says, I will make your enemies your footstool. So it ain't about leveling up for real. Again, it's about remembering, you know, you know. 3:16 again, those who believe shall not perish but have everlasting life. Look, man, I'm not gonna perish. You know what I'm saying? There's everlasting life out there for me. It doesn't matter whatever I do beyond this point. I'm not going to hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hell. Tomorrow I got the enemy. I got the enemy every day, my God. I have the enemy trying to wring my neck out, whispering in my ear, trying to bruise and bite my heels. That's what the enemy's doing, man. He's biting my heels. Biting the crap out of my heels. Forgive my language, but he's just everything that I do, man. And it's a footstool. It's a footstool. It's giving me a step up, and it's like, man, I can really use this, to my advantage, and that's what I'm doing. The enemy sees this as a punishment, but it ain't. I'm sitting here free rent. I got a program that's gonna help me stay sober. I get in and out of the house Monday through Friday, an hour a day. I get my license back in less than 2 months. I got a check coming, and I'm only gonna be pulling like 130 out of it. On top, and I have $800. I'm sitting on $800. I got my sister's coming on the 21st. I'm visiting her. Nephews are coming. You know, it's kind of gonna be a reunite. But like I said, man, he's biting at my heels. He's shoving things in my mind. He's telling me things that I want to hear in my ear, but it's not what I need to hear. He's guilt tripping me. He's lying on me. He's accusing me for several things that I've done that I haven't even done yet. Supposedly, I've turned away from God. I've walked away from God. Yeah. And he rushes here quick when it comes to me. Him and their covenant, like witches. Well, I'm not playing, bro. Man, do they when they know it's me, they're like, who? Christian. Oh yeah, I know that guy. We better be careful, boy. It's our chance to attack. Let's take everything. Let's take all his limbs. Let's eat him up. Leave him nothing. Leave nothing of him. And that's how the enemy is, man. And I was just watching. I wish I can double check. I can double go in the screens while I'm talking to you, and then I can go into my notes that I have, because it's about the rise of the Antichrist. You know, and how you're gonna have the Antichrist that's gonna have a secondary system, a dragon, and it's gonna give authority to the beast, or the beast authority to the dragon, whatever you have it. But you're gonna have a Antichrist that's gonna come portraying himself to be God, but he's gonna be trying to get people to bow down to him and worship, and people are gonna be fooled. He's gonna sound just like something Jesus and God would say out of the Bible, but it's straight coming from bad spirits, demonic spirits. And it seems like, at times I'm in those times where it's like, man, first this spirit sounds like it's good, and then this spirit straight sounds demonic, bro. Like, where it's just like attacking me, upset with me, attacking my heels, getting in my head, whispering negative things in my ears, looking down on me, and I deal with this day in and day out, and I guess that's just being a believer, a person that recognizes my sins, that there is a nature of, that we all walk in on this journey of life, which is an everyday battle. It's God says, I don't know if he exactly says it, but I'll say it, this walk would get knowing Jesus, or wanting to know more, or go verse by verse, or learn things that like Revelations, learning things in Revelations, where a lot of people don't take it serious, but it's very serious, because it's almost like the enemy's here, and they were talking about the certain things and how it's going to work, and I still can't make sense of it because I haven't looked into it every day, but I can honestly realize from like what I'm going through, and it's like every day, man. I don't know if these are just times of getting closer to like dramaticness and trouble and violent campaigns, politics, and people just offing each other off and hurting themselves with drugs and addiction. But it's like, at least for myself, I can speak for myself, every day is like going up against a dragon or a beast, and that's like my sins. And that's one thing that it says, that's one thing that it kind of gets to, like in the Bible. We have a choice that when the Antichrist comes, we'll be fully walking with Jesus. and we'll deny the mark of the beast, but it doesn't say that we're going to be put to death, slayed, and we're going to have complications, because he's going to sound just like Jesus. He's going to portray himself to be just like Jesus, and sometimes if we don't know, we might not be able to tell the difference. So that's why it's good to be walking with Jesus. But I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying every day that I was a kid that 100% grew up in church every day with a family and stuff like that. No. And they want me to be that perfect young adult, but it's like, you know what? Your opinion about me, what you think about me, it's not important. I know they're gonna do this every day. If y'all watch some of the Antifa videos of like the protesting out here, or not even, it don't even have to be towards the ICE department. Just some of these parties, man, they don't stop humiliating. They don't stop pushing around. They don't stop talking trash. They don't stop grabbing their loudspeakers and saying, and getting mad and trash talking. And there's one after a wonder. Once somebody grabs the speaker, the next one does. So I know there's people in lines of just waiting to just waiting to have their voice speaking in whatever negativity they get to release their negativity on others, their energy, what's right to them, you know what I'm saying? And they do it. God doesn't go first. Their opinion goes first. And that's not, it's getting hard nowadays to talk about God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit if if you're dealing with people that have these uncontrollable anger outbursts that flash on you just because you know you're a chosen one, you're a believer in Jesus Christ. When you're strong in faith, you don't take nada, you know what I'm saying? But the enemy loves to ensnare people, trap them, twist their words up, bite at their heels when they're walking good, because they know that's their job. They get paid. They're evil to do stuff like that. Their evil god or their demon that they listen to, or their organization that does evil things like that, they get paid. It's like sitting around a bunch of hyenas and you being a sheep. What's the hyenas gonna do? First they gonna start making these weird sounds around you, storming around you, and then they gonna tear you up. Yup. That's real stuff, man. A lot of days the enemy, like, it will be like, yo, I'm feeling at top of my game, and then all of a sudden my energy will zap out. I'm like, where is this coming from? It's like I can't even tell where it's coming from. It just comes. And then I just go into a depression and I sleep. But if God can help me, or anybody out there in the world that knows what this is, man, let me know, because shoot, it beats me sometimes, and I'm like confused about what I'm doing. Like, even going outside, I'm confused. I'm like, wait, are people looking at me today? Or people gonna start acting like they know something that I don't know, or they know something about me that I did something wrong? Or am I being 24/7 persecuted or judged? Are the cops talking about me in a secret place where they're telling other folks about my business? Or do I have a mob after me? Do I have people that want to hurt me? Because it does feel like that sometimes. And it does, man. It really does. And it's sometimes where you're scared to speak out. I know if I went outside and I said, Jesus is the way and the truth, let Jesus in, because we're tired of hearing a bunch of nonsense. I'm gonna be attacked if I had a sign like that, or I was wearing a shirt like that. and then it said like a verse or chapter or something, and eventually people will be say something bad. If you get more people, then you're gonna have more problem because there's more stuff to be fueled that's gonna bring negative out of something while it brings good, while it brings firmness. You know what I'm saying? But we're just in a world right now where that can go from a 0 to 10 real quick, where people misunderstand things and now you're a target. And we're living in times where, like, people, if you don't be careful, we're in the devil's playground. The world is the devil's fashion. People wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, certain underwears. What's that brand? Louis Vuitton, or Tommy Hilfiger. It's all brands. It's all brands and mottos and things that they say. You know, be above what you think. You don't be less than what like certain things, like telling you, don't do this on your own, do it with our product. Like Nike, have it, just do it. Or what I'm saying, just certain things like that, just brands, but it leaves everything out about God and Jesus. And then people go and buy those brands, they go and buy that, and then when they wear it, they feel real uppity, they feel real special. And if you wearing some low class crap, you gonna get lowballed. They gonna look at you like you dirt and filth. They gonna judge you. They gonna hate you because they wearing $500 shoes, $10,000 gold chains, $200 pair of pants, $60 pair of socks, 250 shirt, $5,000 watch, $30,000 car, Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? GT, I don't give a dang. This is the power and the beast in the world, man. People think the higher brands they get, the more money they spend, the popular in high and mighty people that they're involved with, the stronger their origin, the stronger their spirit is, the stronger their movement is. And they could be real hateful, and you could just feel it. They don't even gotta look at you. The whole thing is that they don't even gotta acknowledge you, that you're a good-hearted person. They can just walk past you and be like they don't want nothing to do with you. And that's what hurts. That's what can hurt somebody, is when they do that. Like, you don't even matter, like you're not even important, like you've just done everything wrong in life. And the way you dress is like, you should be embarrassed of yourself to even come out in public because I'm wearing $25 jeans, a free jacket, a $12 shirt, and $15 shoes, and $2 socks, and $6 boxers. Yeah, everything that you wearing on right now didn't even come to $100. Man, you cheap, man. You tight. You can't even provide for yourself or your loved ones. You can't even provide for your daughter, man. You're worthless, man. Why should we even look at you and give you respect and acknowledge who you are? This is the world that we live in, man. And I can't exactly talk how everybody else talks, where it makes sense and it's educated, but I can run things off of my timeline. And I know there's other patterns out there where people are going through, where they're sitting here like, wow, like, really? So, and I'm not trying to copy nobody. I've already made that mistake in my life where I wanted the Nikes, the J's on my feet, the name brands, just fit it up from the top to the bottom, you know, rocking that big earring, you know what I'm saying? Getting these tattoos and trying to copy what I see what's going on with the world and these rappers. And then later I look at it and it did me more harm than it did me good. They just look at me worser now. So now I have nothing to prove to the world. I don't have nothing to prove to the world. Cause if you're not trusting God with all your heart, and sometimes, it's not that I 24/7 think of God and Jesus and I'm trusting every time. I'm not gonna say I'm like that hardcore of a Christian where I'm carrying my Bible in public and in a church in a shirt that says about forgiveness and stuff. No, I'm there's a lot of things that I'm slipping up on, but I do my best to do my part and what try and do my best to be the simplest and best man that I could possibly be. But like I said, each and every one of us have our own walk with Jesus Christ, and we all get attacked in our own certain ways. And some of it is a psychological warfare attack, man. Since birth. Since birth. And what you seen in my last video, I made a video called Wicked Times. And I jumped around a little bit because I don't like to stay on one topic for too long, because then it starts upsetting me when, because it's that type of conversation where you want to move on in life. You don't want to look in the past, but the world wants you to stay in the past while they move forward. These are the economic traditions and lifestyles and stuff that we're going through. For if anybody can make sense of that in my own terms, it's like if I went to my bank right now and I had $500,000 and I'm on probation, what do you think the world's gonna do? Wait, no, don't give it. He has $500,000. He can go buy an attorney, a lawyer, and get off probation. Dang it, we just lost one of our strongholds over him. Oh my gosh, now he can go buy a $200,000, $150,000 one-bedroom home, and he can leave Oregon. No, now he can go live where he chooses to live. Now we can't harass him and call him and make him feel like trash because he's getting subsidized housing from the government. Dang it. You know, I'd be set for and have some holding and on my own to not depend on all this stuff. And what that would do, it would mess up it would intervene with the enemy's stronghold that they have against me, because they've done this generations and generations. It doesn't even matter what color you are. Just think of plantations, how they used to put people on plantations to work. You know, my sister's been working her whole life since she was like 15. She's 36. She's worked several jobs. She hasn't stopped a day in her life. I have a friend that's younger than me, like 29. My sister's 36. He makes $6,000 a month. He's already bought his own place, which is good. Has his own company. My sister does the same exact thing, but in a different way. She ain't even got her own home yet. She's still paying off a car. You know, she's still working with a boyfriend that is still trying to get his crap together and needs help training wheels to get on his own feet. You know, and I know we all need help, but we get help from Jesus. But I know Jesus bringing people in our life to help us. But I'm just saying, how long do we have to be on these plantations when we earned more than what they're giving? I'm using my sister as an example. I could use myself as an example too, in many different ways, but I'll discuss that later. But back to that $500,000, you know, they don't want to let you settle in their courts because it's too much. We're catching interest here. We're doing taxes. They do got gross income. They got Medicare, what they take out of Medicare health. What is all this? The more you look into it, the more you'll understand is that health is a big scam nowadays, boys and girls out there. The health and welfare, the health department, whatever these serpents or these leeches or these roaches are, you could have child support. And they say, yeah, we gonna do a scam on that person because, man, like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were pushing hard with that Donald Trump. If you weren't a good husband, if you didn't have a good background, if you got a criminal record, if you ain't a working man, if you taken from the government, if you're accepting food stamps, Social Security, housing, WIC, and you expect to get all this stuff, oh yeah, they mad. Oh yeah, man, you taken from them. And a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. That's the truth. They don't want to give you squat. That's why when you get to where you going, you suffering when you going in there. You ain't even really all that happy because you already know what time it is. They had already robbed you of your happiness, my guy. That's true facts. And that's how vital this world that we live in is. And if you guys think I'm getting a little bit too having too many vibrations and feeling myself right now, I'm really not. I'm just saying it's 6:00 a.m. in the morning. I don't mean to be, sounding angry or anything. I'm trying to talk as low as I can. But I am upset. No, really, I am upset. I'm upset that I could have done things differently years ago. But the enemy was biting my heels. He was in my head. He was whistling in my ears. And I fell for his tricks. And now I'm here. And I'm paying for it. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like how far this has gone. Where I was doing what the enemy wanted me to do, and I didn't even see it. And now I have to understand all this craziness. I thought when I was gonna get my house and it was gonna be cool. They didn't tell me I was gonna be hearing some ringy dingy noise campaign and being harassed when I go outside, and that I'm gonna be on a watch list because of my probation. No, seriously. I didn't know it was gonna be all that vital, but it is. It really is, man. And at times it's hard to pray because the enemy hates when you pray. He hates it. He's like, man, he's still going to Jesus. Why don't he just give up? You're a loser. Just give up. That's what he wants. That's what the enemy wants. He wants us to just give up, give in, and take his mark. He knows he's running this system. He knows he's getting into a one world order. The enemy knows it's becoming a beast system. He's making us take marks, and not even really digital marks. They can be painful, sore marks, environment marks, torture, certain campaigns that have harassed individuals in low-class societies for multiple years. Come on, man, get real. He lies to you even when you get wealthy and rich, and tries to make you be something that you really ain't. Come on, man. It's true stuff. These is real facts. And it takes a dumb diddly do like me to figure it out. Cause I seen a couple of dumb diddly doos or heard a couple dumb diddly doos. Well, hey, we live and we learn, and I just hope we find Jesus and we turn from our wicked ways. We turn from the patterns of these worlds, and we try and do our best to stay humble and pray. Ain't nobody saying we gonna wake up the next morning and be a preacher and then we gonna be on a picture of the best church preaching all of a sudden. Like we just gave our souls to the devil. All of a sudden we went from nothing to something. It ain't gonna be like that. It ain't gonna be like that. It ain't gonna be like that. Not all of us gonna have that capacity to just wake up and be strong, because we've been broken through multiple years, decades, from generation to generation. We have generational curses in our lineages, and that's why we're struggling to pray, to be like, no, that thought's the devil. No, we don't want that. That thought's the devil, and it's tough. It's tough. But I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it. I know. See, and you guys see a lot of my videos on YouTube. You know how you see people making videos with like TikTok, and then they're doing the little, you know what I'm saying? They're doing the little dances, and they're out there by the mountains going, yeah. Or they're out there raving and stuff. This ain't like that. You'll see me, I'm like a captive in my own little solitary confinement. I don't even get out a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like I'm a prisoner in this world, but I'm a prisoner of Jesus Christ, because I'm a prisoner here on earth until I go to heaven with him. So we're living in prison. We're living in hellish times. I'm not saying 24/7, but most of the time we're getting our heels bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the enemy is just, he's roaring out here, man. He's roaring, bro. The enemy is roaring out here too, as well as God is. But it's, like I said, a lot of people want to do more worldly things than they want to do more biblical things. And we don't like to have Jesus pushed down our throat. I get like that too, and I'm like, you know what, today I love you, Jesus, but I need a break. I love you, Jesus. I'll talk to you one on one. Like you told me, we'll go one on one and talk to each other about this. I ain't gonna be telling everybody my prayers, da da da, my personal life, because it seems even the churches get upset with you when you ain't following their mandates. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta listen to the preacher every day and get yourself a headache. You know, I can listen to God right here. I can listen to God right here. So I think I'm gonna call this video. I'm gonna call it. Troubled times. I'm gonna call it why troubled times. That's what I'm gonna call it. Cause I wake up in the morning and I feel troubled, man. I do. I feel like the weight of the world is coming. I feel like facing reality is coming. You know, owning up to the life that I'm walking, enduring the things that I never thought I would endure, and so on. So that's what I'm talking about right now. But let's go into another prayer. We're going to end the prayer like this. Dear Heavenly Father, through these troubled times, through these difficult times, through these times where things don't make sense and we feel confused and our heels are being bit and we got headaches, like pounding headaches. We feel like, we're being made fun of. We feel like we don't fit in. Our ears are ringing because we're hearing one thing and then we're being challenged with another thing. Father, Lord, we just hope that you're there in the myths, just holding on tight, Father, Lord, allowing us to continue to wake up and reach out for you and hear your word and maybe speak a little bit of wisdom in the word, Father, Lord, not claiming to have wisdom and know all the word, Father, Lord, but if you would allow me or us to do so, whoever us is, Father, Lord, I would appreciate, Lord, if you just help me get through this, because right now I'm a little angry, upset, and done with society and the way things and how things are getting orchestrated in the world. Amen.